Estado mínimo, ideias máximas. Digaí, podcast focado em liberdade e negócios.
Hello, my friends from Digaí podcast. Today we are in a different language for the first time ever. After 160 episodes, I'm here with Frank Richter, right? Did
Perfect.
I say good?
Absolutely, yeah. No, great pronunciation.
Oh, that's good. Frank, thank you very much for your time here. I know you've been in a hurry. I know you've been busy in this huge thing, this crazy huge thing that's Horasis. So once again, thank you very much for your time. I know we have a short time. I only have a couple of questions for you. And my first question, Frank, is what is Horasis? What is this giant thing that we've seen here in Vitória today?
Horasis is an international organization committed to inspire the future. We host 5 summits per year in different world countries, in world locations. And we always try to invite the most important decision makers from those countries, from business, government, and civil society. Because we believe that, one stakeholder alone can't really solve all the issues we see in the world, like climate change, poverty, but also, of course, economic distress. And I think we have to join hands all together to make it happen. So at Horasis, we invite all these shareholders and we come up with solutions and try to shape the future and make the world a better place to live on.
Okay, that's very important. But how do you expect the solutions come out? I mean, between through conversations, through ideas, from debate, what are your expectations on how the solutions should come out from Horasis?
Right. So we have plenary panels where we have ministers speaking, CEOs of large companies, and then a lot of so-called boardroom dialogue panels where people discuss issues in a more intimate atmosphere, sitting around tables. And it's really there where the solutions come out at the end.
Okay.
We are going to write a report, like a white paper, which we are going to present to the government of the Espírito Santo. And here all the solutions, all the suggestions for solutions will be outlined. So at Horasis, we are very practical on the one hand. People say we are like a 2 days executive EMBA.
Yeah.
Where you can learn a lot of things, a lot of new ideas you can't really Google or read in a book. But it's all fresh from the people's mind coming up in the discussion room. It's an open atmosphere of sharing knowledge and dialogue.
Okay, that's very nice. Congratulations to this. And you are the founder of Horasis, right?
Yeah, I founded Horasis 19 years ago.
19 years ago.
Yes.
And what happened for you to have the idea of creating something like this?
I felt that, we need a safe space where decision makers can meet. And, there are a lot of conferences in the world, but we are not really a conference. At a conference, you have just speeches, you listen and you go.
That's true.
In our case, we try to create a community where participants stay on, even over the year, they're in contact, they're, work on projects. We got, for example, projects on the ethical dimension of AI, and it's an ongoing project led by one of our participants. And, that's really happening there. And when people come back year after year, they meet friends, and business partners, and jointly try to find solutions using technology as well to make the world a better place to live on.
That's very nice from you. And so in today's event, we have the idea of building bridges, right?
Right.
What are those bridges, and why Brazil, specifically considering that we're in Brazil right now, which bridges actually Brazil needs the most?
When I looked into the location, Vitória itself has a lot of bridges, right? It's an island.
Right.
And this was a bit the inspiration of the title. But, more on the substance side, I've seen that there are so many, issues in the world, so many, uncertainties as well, a high risk level when it comes to war and even survival. Survival in the terms of war and geopolitics, but even survival of the human species when you think about climate change. So, and then we have a divide. We have a digital divide. Some people use the internet, use the device, use AI. Some people don't.
True.
And then, we have to bridge this divide and make a more inclusive approach. Everybody can use AI and all the digital, the digital work streams, which are now, used still by a minority of people. Also, when it comes to the gender divide, now we have a panel on gender going on and how to empower women. Even, women don't like the word of being empowered. They want to empower themselves.
Right.
And want to be accepted how they are and want to be invited, when it comes to fundraising. Fundraising in venture capital is still a very male affair. I think 99% of the ventures finally being being funded are with male founders.
Okay.
So a lot of bridges to be built to overcome the divides.
Okay. My last question. Considering everything that you have seen, not only in this Horasis, but also worldwide, what Brazil can export and what Brazil should import?
It's a very good question. You know,
Thank you.
Brazil for me, it's more like a continent. It's not a country.
It is, it's true.
And many people say, oh, we don't really need to export because we got everything here. It's like a paradise, right? You have the mangoes you can eat. You have, of course, the beef, the cattle, everything is here, right? It's like a paradise on earth. But in nowadays time, your competitor is waiting outside the door. So you have to be prepared. And you have to, of course, build up your own competitiveness. I would love to see more Brazilian-born ventures and even unicorns coming up. And for that, we need better education, better regulation, or maybe a less regulation, because I think Brazil is a bit over-regulated in many areas.
It is.
So to free up, the entrepreneurial scene. And then when it comes to export, I think you shouldn't export your people because that's like a tendency that young people go overseas and don't come back.
We do a lot.
There are a lot of Brazilians living in America, right? Even in Singapore or even in in Europe, right? And but I think they should stay here because here are the opportunities. And maybe one product Brazilians are very famous for is creativity.
True.
I think you're very creative people, innovative people, and but to channel this kind of creativity in products and services.
Okay. Frank, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
I hope I see you soon.
Absolutely, yeah. Great,
Thank
yeah.
you. And
Thanks so much for inviting me, yeah.
And congratulations for your project, and it definitely is making the world a better place to live.
Great, yeah. Thank you so
very
much. Appreciate it, yeah. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Estado mínimo, ideias máximas. Digaí, um podcast focado em liberdade e negócios.